Last week I tried to upload the video to YouTube and it wouldn't load. So hopefully tonight it loads. And if it doesn't, then sorry to those of you that could not make it. So we will try. Oh yeah, I can't minimize when I'm in Zoom. Share my screen. Kevin always shuts the door every Tuesday night. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me see. For those of you that don't know how you can filter reports, here's how you can filter reports to see what you want to see in your back office. Sorry if you can hear the clicking. I want current Success Club points. Okay, so welcome to tonight's call, our little, not really a throw together call, but I just kind of have some broad topics to talk about and then open it up for questions and conversation and all that good stuff. So I don't really have a ton of announcements. You know, it's the second and a half week of September. So the 15th of the month, the halfway point is right around the corner. We do have a challenge group that's kicking off on Monday, the 19th. It will be a normal, regular, open group to anybody. We'll go back to or stay on the challenge tracker app. I don't know about you guys, but with the health bet, I really feel like everybody else is kind of struggling with the challenge tracker app, and we're like way ahead of everybody else because we've been using it. So I think for sure we have a leg up in that aspect, and I think our challengers do too because we just know how to do it. And there's a lot of engagement, which is really awesome. And but I've also been noticing our coach engagement has been really awesome too, and going in and providing value on your challengers posts and everybody's challengers posts. And so you know, I've been talking with my corporate mentor. I've been listening to calls about free groups. And, you know, I think Beachbody is kind of realizing that at the beginning of the year, they were putting a lot of pressure, even if they didn't realize it, they were putting pressure on all of us to, not me, but like the top coaches that are pushing for elite, that they need to onboard and recruit coaches. Like they were really putting an emphasis on getting other people to coach and build the business. And I think what I'm sensing from corporate and like Melanie Mitchell and from my corporate mentor who I've talked to, they say that they're putting the emphasis on the wrong place. Like it really needs to be on the challenge groups and on the challengers and forming those challengers to be rock stars and to get results, and then they turn into coaches. And when my corporate mentor, Sydney, told me that, because I told her every time we talk once a month, and her first question is, so how many coaches did you recruit this month? And I'm always like, 1, 2, you know, and like really it's not a great number, and I always feel embarrassed to tell her that. But this last time we talked, and she said, you know what, just focus on challengers. Just focus on running an awesome challenge group, running an awesome free group, building connections, building your relationships. And she's like, the rest of it will fall into place. And so that was kind of a relief for me, because I even put a lot of pressure on myself to find coaches, and it comes from the challenge groups. It comes from that. So just continue to add in that value. You know, don't feel like you have to comment on every Shakeology post. I just usually like those and then move on. You know, if it's my challenger and they have something like maybe they ate that instead of snacks in the lounge or something, then maybe I'll comment. But for most of the time, just Shakeology, I usually just like it. And then the workouts, you know, I just try to add a great comment. I mean, you guys do that really well too, so no worries there. Coach Sneak Peek, I think we are shooting for the 27th of September. We did a live call last time, or live videos last time, and I think that went really well. We did it in place of our team call, and there were a few people that were able to jump on. I liked that aspect because we were live and they could really see us and feel us. And sometimes when I think you do a video, it's you, but it's a different you. But I think when you're live, they can actually, you know, see you in real time and know how you are. And if they have questions, they can ask them and you can answer them. So I really like that format. I think we should try it again unless you guys have other suggestions, but I think it went really well. So I think we just try it one more time like that and just see how it goes from there. A heads up about next Tuesday. There will not be a team call for us. This sounds really bad, but not really bad, but that's our homecoming week, and it's coronation, and Kevin's cousin is on the court, and I just kind of want to go. So, and it's at 8 o'clock. So we will not have a team call, but Alyssa's team call is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock with Autumn Calabrese. So I will be sure to share the link there. So that will be our team call next week. And then, we'll have like our mentorship calls and stuff next week and as scheduled. But I was just kind of debating on moving our team call either forwards or backwards. But then when I heard Alyssa say her call was that Tuesday, we will just plan on that. So just a heads up with that. Success Club, let me see. I'm just going to have to read it off of here. Julie's at 2. Sorry, this is like not professional. Megan's at 12. Your hubby is at 2. I know Riley's at 4. Emily's at 2. I think that's it. So I don't think there's anybody there. No. Awesome. So Megan, off to a good start as always, as usual. Oh my gosh, you scared me. So everybody else, I will be honest with you guys. I don't want to sugarcoat it and make it seem like everything's awesome. I am currently sitting at 0. So sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. So it's not from lack of effort. It is just this time of year is just hard. And I don't remember it being this hard for me last year. I don't know if it's because I'm pregnant and people think I can't help them work out, or I don't know. But so if you're still sitting at 0, you're still sitting at 2, there's still a lot of month left. There's still a lot of time left, and know that we can do it. I'm pushing right alongside of you, and I won't stop until I'm at least at 6, right? That's the goal. That is the non-negotiable, and 10 is obviously what I'm shooting for as well. So, moving on. Okay, so free groups. We've had a lot of talk about that. A lot of like Melanie and Alyssa have been talking about free groups a lot with them. And it was back in August, Katie Erstad did a team call for Melanie on what she's been doing since January. And I know I talked to you guys a little bit about this, but Katie has been running a free group every month since January. And that has lately, after about 3 or 4 months, this running a free group has been her sole way of getting her challengers. So hitting Success Club, selling her challenge packs, from building relationships has all come from free groups for her after doing it consistently for 3 or 4 months. And so when I heard her talk about this in August, she just felt like she was at a point in her business where something had to change. She was doing the daily grind of sending messages, sending invites, posting, working on her like page, and wasn't getting anywhere. And that's how I felt like I was in August. And obviously I'm still that way because it's the 13th and I have nobody signed up for a challenge pack. But I listened to her call and I thought, you know what? I need to change something. I need to pour my heart and energy back into helping people, and then working to build a relationship with them and going from there. So I have spent a lot of time this summer working on my like page. I've spent a lot of time in August and September working on these free groups. And my hope is that, I can kind of develop a system and I can figure out a way to get it to work, and then to be able to share that with you guys. And so share like not the struggle, but like the trying to figure it out, and without, all of us having to trudge through that water and try and figure it out, but all of us do it together. So within these free groups, I've only done it 2 months, but kind of for me, how a free group had felt in the past when we would do it all together is, okay, I'd post about it, I'd have a few people in there, And then it was just stressful making sure everybody was posting when they needed to. Did everybody have a recipe? Was somebody going to do their workout? Was somebody not going to do their workout? And there was actually a few times like in the past that I just hadn't even invited to a free group. I had just been in there. I did my part and then I left it. And I didn't feel like I was utilizing them enough. There was actually one time last year when we were still with Heather and Hillary that, I didn't even promote. I wasn't even in the free group. Like I didn't even join or anything. And so, and even when last couple months when Abby and Megan kind of took over and ran a free group, I still wasn't totally invested. And because I felt like I never got anything out of it, like I never got any challengers out of it. I just always had people that wanted to jump in. And then I'd be like, hey, so you joined our free group. Next is our challenge group. What do you think? And then they never respond. Then the next month I'd post about a free group and they were all in and they wanted to be in. And I'd add them in and then the same thing. And I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. So when I heard Katie's call and just how she said she ran the free group the week before her challenge group, that second week of the month, she ran a free group. She put in a ton of time and effort that first week of the month, promoting her event, inviting people to it. As soon as people marked they were going, and this was through her like page. So when people marked that they were going, then she would friend request them. She'd start building a relationship with them. And then when the group opened that Sunday night, she would have these people in there. And then she would just spend that whole entire week building a relationship with these people. She put all of her time and her energy, I spelled poor wrong on here, the wrong kind of poor, poured all of her energy and effort into them. And she just worked on, I had built a relationship twice. Can you tell I just tried to do this in like 2 minutes? And it was 8 o'clock. But she just really focused on building relationships with these people. And yes, a majority of the people in her free group were people she had no idea who they were. So that was kind of her backstory, what she did. And she went into it saying, I'm not expecting a sale. I'm not expecting these people to buy a challenge pack. I am just expecting them to jump in, get support from me, figure out who I am as a coach, and eventually, hopefully, they will sign up and join me in a challenge group. So, last month the group started right when school started, so it was kind of crazy, but I did run an event through my like page. I did run an ad with it, so I think I put in like $20 to have it go out to different interest groups that had done really well for me through this like page training. And then I spent that week going through and having people in the group. I friend requested the people that were in the group. I posted my video and then I had them, comment done when you're done below or whatever. And every time somebody commented, I complimented them just like we do in the challenge groups. Hey, that's awesome. You did great. And some people get really into it and some people obviously are just in there and they don't do it or don't post about it, but they still do it, whatever it might be. And then at the end, especially in August, because we were getting ready for the health vet, I did a video talking about if you're ready to step up to the next level, you can join one of my challenge groups. I talked about it a little bit. I sent out messages. But what I also did was when you boost that event or you run an ad for that event, people go through and they just like it. Like they like your post. So that week I also went through and worked on adding those people that liked my post, liked the event. And obviously I kind of scan them and see, okay, this person looks kind of not like my niche market, so I'm not going to add them. But I went through and that was a way of me for expanding my market too. And so now not only do I have these 10 people that joined my free group in August, but I have these 20 people that I skimmed through out of 100 that liked the post that I think I might want to build a relationship with. Something I did different for this group in September was I did a little giveaway. And so the people that once they were in the group, I had them add 5 people in the group and then I put their name in a drawing I did a sample of Hydrate, Energize, and then a chocolate Shakeology. I was like a free thing of my favorite things or whatever. So then that way, all of a sudden, like I did that Monday morning or Sunday night. No, I can't remember. But I said you have Tuesday until Tuesday at 6 a.m. I still haven't drawn yet, so I'm going to do that tonight. But my group went from like 70 people to now I think I have like 120 because people went through and added in their friends. And not only that, but now I have more people that I can make connections with, build relationships with, and go from there. So do I expect to get any people to sign up in a challenge group after this group? You know, I'm hoping for 2. I'm hoping 2 people will want to join me in a challenge group and join for the 19th. But to be honest, I'm just hoping that these people continue to see me. They're friends with me on Facebook now. I just hope that by November, December, they're ready to pull the trigger after seeing me be consistent for how many months, for me continuing to add value to their life by giving them workouts and giving them recipes. So it's not going in with expectations. It's just having that mindset of I'm going to help you and I'm going to provide value and content for you and impact you any way that I can. So I kept the same group as last time. So I ran different events, but I did 2, like I kept the same group. I ran out of time this month, but what I'm going to do for October is I'm actually going to go back to the people I've invited in July, August, and September. And I'm going to, if they say no or they never responded to me, I'm going to invite them to the event. So maybe they'll jump in and see what I'm like in a free group. And then, and I told Liz the other night when we were talking, I said, when she put together that free group for the team page, I told her to just go back to people that she had talked to last couple months and invite them to the free group. So kind of the same thing. I told her to go and invite those people because it was kind of too late for her to start an event. But that's something that I'm going to work on too, is trying to invite more people to the free group. I've never really done that before. So just kind of taking the focus back to helping others. And, you know, yes, there's going to be some people that just sit in there and don't ever commit, don't ever do anything. Because I've had people joining free groups for months. And so it's just trial and error. I'm just trying to figure out something new, something different, and going from there. And the call that Melanie had last week, I think, was a really good call. I think I posted it in the team page. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I definitely would. It was 3 other ladies' perspectives on how they run their free groups. And so I got some really great ideas there as well. And so the more ideas I get and I come up with, you know, I'll share with you guys for sure. But just think about, you know, even if you don't have a like page, you can still run an event through your personal page. You just want to make sure it's public. And then you can share that event. People can join it, say they're going. And then I move them from the event to a group. So do you guys have any questions on free groups or any things that have been working for you? I know, Liz, you guys just started today, right? Kick off today?
No, it starts tomorrow.
Okay. You just had your welcome today?
Yep.
Okay. So, and you guys are doing 3 days or 5 days?
3.
3, okay. Yeah, this one, the last 2 I've done have been 7 days. I'm going to see how this one goes, but I might bump it back to 5 because obviously like on the weekend you kind of see the engagement go down. So I'm going to see how it goes. But I've used Pinterest for all my stuff. I just kind of pick an area I want, a body part I want to work on, and then just find a bunch of exercises that go with it. I make my videos like I record them all on a Saturday morning. I just change my outfit 7 times and take an hour and make all my videos. And then throughout the week, I edit them through iMovie. And then I save them so that way I can use them. Like today I posted a video on my like page, the one I did with Kinsley. And I think I'm going to post it on my personal page later. But I save them that way so that I can use them later. I know Megan, are you doing live videos this group again?
I did a live video on Monday, and then for some reason, every time I post a video, it posts it twice. So then I took last night and I did Tuesday, Wednesday videos, and I recorded them and did the iMovie thing. But I've been putting them on my phone because I feel like it loads faster from my phone than from my computer, which is weird. But I'm going to start to upload them to YouTube to my channel so I can just post the link if I ever need it.
I was thinking about that too because I think Melanie said on her call with everything with her free group, she links it all to her blog first. So every recipe, every workout, everything like that, she links it to her blog. And I was like, that's a good idea. Like, and if only I had, 10 more hours in the day, I could link it all to my blog, then my Pinterest and my YouTube, and it would all be out there for everybody to see. But so, but yeah, that was a good idea. I know Melanie said that because then that drives more traction to her blog too. But yeah, I do notice that when I try to upload from my computer, it does take a little bit longer. So normally I will start it uploading at 6. And do you talk during your videos?
Yeah. Like my live ones, I usually say hey, happy Monday or whatever, talk through it. And then I actually walk through each workout, and then I show them the modified version of it. And then at the end, I post what workouts they have on the post or whatever, so they can go back through. And then I usually say do each one for a minute, or do 30 reps of each, or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's worked for me. The live ones are nice, but like you said before, the one thing I noticed is the weekends are absolutely awful. So I might just do 5, because it does take time to post on Saturday, to post recipes and workouts and stuff. And when people aren't doing the workouts, it's so I might actually try to do some drawings. If you post and work out on Saturday and post your sweaty selfie or something, I'll put you in a drawing just to get more people on the weekends.
That was one suggestion one of the gals on Melanie's call did, was that she did, was it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Everybody that commented that they did it was entered for a drawing. And then it was Thursday, Friday. Everybody that did it was entered for a separate drawing. And then Saturday, Sunday was a separate drawing. So she gave away 3 packets of Energize or something. She didn't make it outrageous, but, and so I think I'll do that for the next time. I just wanted to do a giveaway at the beginning so I could get more people in there. And actually a lot of people that I found through promoting it are the ones that added people in. So I have probably 30 or more people that I have no idea who they are, that would be. And obviously I have some people that on my personal page that added people that, I already know, or I know they're friends with other coaches or whatever. But yeah, I don't talk about the moves in the videos that I've been doing. I just show it, and if it's something that I definitely think they need to modify, I show both, and then I just kind of have a description behind it when I post it. So my videos are less than a minute long, but I try to add more in my description. So I think it's whatever works best for you or whatever you want to do. And I went from essence of time, and I'm hoping that some people have a little bit of knowledge of what's going on, but yeah, it does take time. And that's why I like to take that Saturday before and make all those videos and stuff, because otherwise it could take you probably a half an hour, I bet, to make the video, talk about it all, post about it.
Mine are usually 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then I did the other 2 I've recorded already. So this morning I woke up at 5 and just pushed post.
Yeah. Post.
And then at 5:30 I got up, and someone's like, "What time do you get up if you posted the workout already?" I was like, "Oh, really early."
I'm up. So I don't know. I think, yeah. And my goal is always to try and talk to people throughout the group. But sometimes that just seems to take a back burner, messaging everybody in the group and saying, "Hey, thanks for joining." So I've just been trying to do a little bit each day so I don't get super overwhelmed. But I'm really focusing on just adding value, not expecting a sale, just trying to show people who I am. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to try doing this by myself, because, if Liz had 10 challengers in the group with me, and then all they're seeing is my face and me doing all this stuff, they need to see her doing this. They need to see, you being a leader and you being that person that they can turn to. So that was one of the things I felt like was not the best about our free groups before, was that yes, they got to see us as like a team, you know, all working together and all of our encouragement. But for this, the way that I need it for my business, like I really need them to see me, and what they would get was signing up with me. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. But so, all right. Well, and then the second thing I want to talk about was tracking. And per request by Megan this morning, I don't even remember what you said in your Snapchat. I know this is your secret sauce or something, or I don't remember what you said, but I didn't have a ton on my mind that I wanted to talk about tonight. And so then when she brought that up, I was like, oh, this is good. And honestly, like this just took me time and trial and error to figure this out. And you do just have to find what works for you. And so I will just go through and I will just mind dump onto you what I do, like walk you through what I do, and then questions that you have or things you want me to show you, we can go from there. So I was trying to think back to when I first started tracking, because what I used to do was I just literally had a notebook and I would just write everybody's names down that I was talking to, which worked, but then I had no system of checking back with them. I had no system of seeing who I had or hadn't talked to. So if you're a new coach, if you're just getting started out, or you're just wanting to figure out how to start tracking and figure out a system, the first thing I did was I took a blank calendar, and the calendar had 3 lines on each day, but I would say go for 5. Like you need to be sending out at least 5 invites a day. So print off a blank calendar. Let me see. Here's what mine looks like. And I actually print mine out like a little bit bigger. So you guys can see that? So like this is 2 weeks at a time. So this is last week. This is this week. So it's not exactly a full calendar. I don't have a full calendar sitting here. But it is so I take it like 2 weeks at a time, because I want at least 5 names. And normally I have 5 check back invites a day and then 5 new invites a day. So I actually try to send out 10 invites a day. But go through your friends list, literally just scroll through it, take that half an hour to an hour, however long it takes, just sit there and do it. And I would fill out, okay, I go through and I'd be like, and this was last October. So I was going through my friends list and I was like, you know what? They might be interested. They might be interested. Oh, I haven't talked to them for ages, but they might be interested. Like anybody that crossed my mind where I thought, okay, I think they'll be interested, I wrote their names down. And so I filled out, it was October, November, December. I filled out those 3 calendars with 5 names a day of people that I could invite. Then what I did was I took the month of October, everybody that was on my calendar for October, I put them on an interest list in Facebook. So what that looks like is you go over here and you can see, like, here are all my interest lists right now. And I actually need to update them because these 3 weeks are past. So I need to figure out what the heck is going on with these people that are still in these groups. And then I need to add in October. But what you do is you scroll down on the side to friends and then hit more. And then if you don't have any lists, then these lists that you've made will be gone, but you might have some here. This just is what Facebook stalks you with and sees where you've been, where you've worked, your information. But then I hit create list. And you can give it a name. So like, for instance, I would write October. That would be my, what you could name it. Or like for me, the first week in October is October 3 through the 8th or the 8th. So then you can add every person's name on there that you want to invite on those dates. So Megan, I'm going to invite Megan. I'm going to invite Liz. All that kind of stuff. You can add all those people in there. Then you hit create. And then it pulls it up. And I don't have anybody in there right now because I don't know who I'm inviting yet. But then you can also add it to your favorites somewhere. I think you have to go back to all of them, and then you can add to your favorites, and it's probably going to tell me, yeah, I have the maximum, so I can't add any more favorites right now. But then I just go through once a day, I go through all of these lists, and I like, comment, you know, whatever it might be. Then when I go to invite them, I try to think back to something that they were posting about, something they were talking about, and try and include that in my invite. So I make those interest lists. I go through them once a day. Yes, it takes me about a half an hour. I usually do it, like lately it's been when Kinsley's watching Scooby-Doo before bed. I sit there and I scroll through because I don't need to watch Scooby-Doo. I've seen them like a million times. So, but I'm sitting next to her. I'm mindlessly scrolling. I call it my stalking when Kevin's like, what are you doing? And I say, I'm stalking my people on Facebook because that's literally what I'm doing. I'm stalking them. So go through that friends list, fill out the blank calendar, add them to your interest list. Then when I'm adding new people, once a day, I try to add 5 to 10 people a day to my network. Now, does that mean they accept my request every time? No. So really, I'm probably getting 2 or 3 people that are accepting my request every day because a lot of people just don't accept your friend request. But once a day I go through and I have a separate sheet. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's basically just 5 columns. And what I do is like tonight, I need to sit down and I need to write 913, and I'm going to write down everybody's name that accepted my friend request. Then I take them and I add them to my new friends. And I add value to them. Usually I try to stalk them for about a week. And then I send them that, hey, not sure if we know each other, but I just wanted to say hi. It looks like we had some stuff in common, blah, blah, blah. And then I give them a compliment, and I wait for them to respond to me.
It was already there.
Then after that initial message, then I count 6 weeks, and then I add them to my calendar.
Yeah.
So I add them to Facebook a week after they accept my request, and I shoot them a, hey, nice to meet you message, and then I invite them to a challenge group 6 weeks later.
Can I hear you?
Something that does for me is allows me to kind of get to know them a little bit better. So if they are posting about exercise, if they're posting about needing to lose weight, I'm always liking those posts. I'm always, trying to raise my affinity with them. So I'm trying to like as much stuff as I can. And so that way I can kind of build up, and then I feel like I get to know them, especially if there's somebody that posts a lot on Facebook, then I kind of get to know them. So then when I get to the date, so like today I sent out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Today I only sent out 8 invites. But when I do that, when I invite those people, then I have this little black book. Ironic, huh? But then basically what I do is like down here. So today's the 13th, so I have written 9:15 and 9:17. So on 9:15 on Thursday, I know that I'm going to go back to these people and I'm going to send them a check back. And I'm just going to say, hey, just wondering if you saw my previous message. Not sure if it's something you're interested in or not, but just let me know. Just something quick and brief, so they can, because a lot of times what they do is they look at it and they forget to respond. So I just send them a quick check back message. And then on the 17th, and lately it's kind of been, we'll skip Saturdays and just send them back one on Sundays. It just kind of depends on my weekend. But that's when I do my, okay, if you're not interested, that's fine. Like I'll check back with you or I'll take off my list, just let me know. So I try to check back every 2 to 3 days. I check back, that should be twice. I send my invite and then I check back twice. So I'm contacting them 3 times. If they still don't respond to me after that, then it depends. If it's somebody I've been talking to, then I will maybe add them still to check back with them in a few months. But if it's somebody that has never responded to any of my messages, then I usually just kind of cross them off because obviously they either never check their messengers or they think I'm a crazy lady or something like that. So that is kind of how I track them. And then I just have like a sheet of paper. Like I just started for January and December. So like people now that are telling me no, like check back with me later, I'm starting to add them to December because I'm like, okay, I like to wait a few months. Even some people that like are telling me they don't have the money or they're giving me excuses, I'm writing them down for January because they're going to continue to see me. They're going to continue to see what I'm posting about. So I'm just kind of giving them a little bit more time in between me checking back with them. So that's kind of how I do it. I don't know if that helped you or not, Megan.
Okay, so because I just feel like with like what I'm doing, I have like so many notebooks and so much like stuff that I just feel like I'm gonna start missing people or whatever. So basically, like let's say you're my friend on Facebook. We just became friends or whatever. So I put you in an interest list and I add you to a calendar. Do I not add you until I've said hey to you then?
I don't. So
Okay.
So I have them on this, and yes, I have like 3 different like packets of paper.
Right, but I mean you at least, yeah.
So like
Okay.
what I do is, so like yesterday, I had a bunch of people accept my requests because I sent out a bunch from my like page for friend requests.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is then on the 19th, so next Monday, I will message these people and say, hey, it's nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So then what I will do is just up here in the corner, I will write 9/19. And then when I add them to my invite calendar, I highlight it. So I know that they're checked off, or I'll just check them off or cross them off or whatever.
Okay.
So that way I know that they're on my calendar. Then when I finally sit down and do it, then I usually adjust my interest list. So I will take them off my new friends list, but then put them on the next interest list for October 3 through the 8th or whatever. So I feel like I do probably lose maybe 2 or 3 people a month that just kind of fall through the cracks, but I try once a week to update those interest lists. So if somebody has not responded to me, then I delete them out of my interest list on Facebook. If somebody says check back with me later, then I write down what month I'm going to check back with them and I delete them from that interest list. And I try to go through.
Sometimes your interest list might be like 3 people or 2 people or something.
Sometimes, yeah, like that first one that I had. I don't know if you saw it or not. Like here, August 8th through the 12th, I have 4 people. Because like we were talking and like the conversation never really went anywhere. So then I know, okay, these 4 people, like I need to either tell them to crap or get off the pot because like I'm sick of you being on my interest list and me seeing your stuff, but you're not doing anything. So, but that's another way for me to say, okay, these people I know I have conversations with, like where's it at? And then I can go find them in my messenger and see what we've been talking about, see when the last time. And then I try to go through my messenger messages at least once a week and do that like, oh yeah, okay, you did say that you were interested. Let's shoot the details. Let's crap or get off the pot. Like, let's go. So
what do you do? So like, let's say I add you on Facebook tomorrow. Do you put me do I put you in any sort of like list right away then? Or do you wait until you do the, hey, how are you type of thing?
As soon as they accept my message or my request, then I put them in my new friends list.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because I guess I was getting confused on like the week part of it. So like, because what happens if I send out 20 invites today and someone accepts it in 5 days or something, or whatever, because I know some people don't add people back right away. So when they add you back, you just put them in like that week.
Yeah. I actually don't. I just started trying to track who I was sending requests to, but then it was like somebody would accept it 5 days later and then it'd be like, wait a minute, when did I add them? So I normally don't keep track of who I send requests to.
Okay.
I just keep track of who accepts it.
I was listening to a call and someone had mentioned you should go back and delete your sent out requests. Is that something that you ever do?
Yes, I need to do it more, but that's hard. So usually what I will do is if I know I've gone 2 or 3 days without sending out any friend requests, like sometimes on the weekends, then Sunday night I'll sit down and try and delete them all because I don't want to delete a request that I just sent somebody. So usually if I know I need to do it, like if you have never done it, it will take you forever because like here I'll show you. I haven't done it for a while.
That's why I looked at mine and I mean I haven't done it for a while, but then I noticed that like some of the outgoing ones people have already accepted it. So like let's say Lindsay already accepted your request. Like sometimes they've already accepted the request even though it says it's sent. Because like I had someone on there and I like deleted the request or whatever and I went to their page and like we were friends already. So I was like,
Really?
so I didn't know if my like Facebook wasn't like
But yeah, I will try to, like, if I know I need to do it, because, like, this is just one, like, there's probably a lot in there. It's like, but I did notice, though.
like they said once you start deleting them that Facebook sends you more of them.
Yep.
Or like better people or whatever.
Yes, that is true. Because the first time I did it, all of a sudden, then the next day when I went to find people, I had, like, a whole new crap ton of people that showed up and they were like more my niche. So it was kind of weird.
Is there a way to like put it so it's not another Beachbody coach or something? Because I did notice that like obviously it goes towards what you like and stuff. And so I had like 5 people that were all like Beachbody coaches and stuff. And some people don't have it in their name. And so like I've been having to click on like their profile, check it out, go to their about, like try to look and see. I just didn't know if there was an easier way to do that, but
I don't think so.
okay. They need to work on their creeper status.
I know, right? Filter the creepers. But and sometimes I will add people and they are coaches or like I just added somebody the other day and I don't even know what product she was using or something. It was like a weird cleanse thing and she was posting about it all the time and I was just like, you know what? I don't want to see this on my news feed. You're obviously not going to do Shakeology or anything. So I just ended up unfriending her. And like we've been
There's
friends.
a lot of people that I go back and unfriend because I just don't really care for like if you add them and then they end up being like really weird. I just
Or sometimes I add people and they're like, what is it? Not it works, but or I don't know. They're just different things and
yeah.
I'm like, oh well, you know, and some people you can convert, but sometimes I'm just like, hang on just a second. He yelled at me like 5 minutes ago. He's like, be quiet. And then he said he couldn't hear the TV in the other room because I was talking too loud. You married a teacher. Get over it. Sorry. What were we talking about?
Hey, is there any way that you track like the conversation you had? Because I know Bonnie like said she has a notebook and she writes like Shannon and then she writes what you talked about and then she goes to the next person and I'm like, I don't really want.
If I had 12 hours in my day to do Beachbody, I probably would.
Okay. That's why I was like, I think I'm just going to rely on Messenger for some of it. If I need to like write something down like October or something, I could write it.
If I think about it, if they give me like an excuse or they tell me something, like this one gal, she's like, I'm in a mommy and me group and I love it. And I'm like, oh, that's great. And she's like, I need the support of people. And I'm like, oh, well, good thing a challenge group gives you support too. But like I just wrote that next to her name. I was like, group loves it or something like that. So that way, like if I look back and I'll know that, okay, she's probably one that will have to come back to me if she wants to do it because she was just so against it. Or if some people are like, I love the gym. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like, so.
I've had a lot of people that I've like been talking to and stuff and they didn't have money for like the challenge pack and then like updated their status today that she went into like a personal trainer. And so careful for my next like post on Facebook because it kind of irritates me because, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not a personal trainer. I know that part of it, but, like, haven't you seen that I can get results? You know what I mean? Like, and so I've actually been struggling with personal trainers and not with, like, stupid it works stuff because I feel like people are finally figuring out that it just doesn't. But yeah, I've been struggling a lot with, like, personal trainers and
I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird time. Or, like, I've been having a lot of people that, like, today, it's a gal that I really connected with her when I added her on Facebook, and she has a daughter too, and we really connected, and so I sent her an invite finally today, and she's like, right away, she's like, oh, I can't post stuff on Facebook like you do. And I was like, oh, no worries. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, this is a private group. You don't have to post anything if you don't want to. You know, you can just post that you worked out. And she's like, oh, perfect. Sign me up. And I was like, holy crap. Like, that was easy, you know. And so then we were talking about what program she should do. And then I was like, said something about what kind of Shakeology she wanted to try. And she's like, well, how many calories are in it? And I was like, I'm at school at this point. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can look when I get home. And she said, well, my doctor has me on a really low calorie diet. And I was like, well, you replace a meal with it. So, you know, I'm guessing it's pretty low cal if you use it for breakfast or lunch or supper, you know. And she's like, oh, okay, awesome. Like, you know, I lost 60 pounds last time I did this diet, and I just need light exercise, blah, 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 or whatever. But anyway, so she was wanting to purchase a program without Shakeology. I've been running into that. People have not wanted to buy Shakeology. They don't want to put the time or the money into Shakeology. So that's kind of where I've been struggling. And so
I've had someone, like, say they didn't want to be addicted to it or, like, have to rely on it. And I was like, well, honestly, like, I'm sure you can get results without Shakeology, like people have before,
right.
and stuff. And I was like, if I went off of it tomorrow, I wouldn't gain a bunch of weight back. But at the same time, like, it does help you and stuff. And, like, as I was looking on my orders about how much money I've spent, like, over the year, like, you know, and it does, I mean, it's like $100 a month, pretty much, you know, a little bit more and stuff. And so I, like, added it all up, and I was looking at, like, the amount, and, like, for a year, I don't want to say it's, like, scary or whatever, but I was like, wow, that's a decent amount of money, like $1,200. And then Aaron was like, but we also had to buy groceries almost every single week or twice a week, you know, or whatever, every 2 weeks and stuff. And he's like, so you've probably spent less on groceries, you know, because of Shakeology, and he drinks it and stuff. And so it's helped. And, like, I don't know. I just was like, I don't know how to say it. Like, it's not like Jenny Craig where you have to eat their food, you know, like, you can eat real food and still,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I've been, I don't know. Yeah. I've had some people that were like, oh, I couldn't do Shakeology. I'm doing this other shake. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole chalky thing or whatever.
I hear ya.
Yeah. So.
I think people just, I don't know. I think I've been struggling so much because I don't have, like, results. I don't have a transformation right now, so I feel like I'm struggling. Like, people will comment and they'll be like, oh, like, I love that you're working out when you're pregnant. Like, that's so motivating. But, like, nobody wants to join me. Like, they don't think, I don't know. And
But on the same thing, like, I have a bunch of people who are like, oh, it's easy to lose weight. And I'm like, seriously? Have you noticed, like, my pictures are, like, a year apart and stuff?
Right.
And, like, yeah, like, you can get results and stuff, but I still have, like, people that I struggle with that are like, oh, it's easy for you. And so then I'm like, well, not really. Like, how many nights have I, like, you know, wanted to give up or whatever and stuff. And so that's why I've been trying to, like, post more about, I still struggle just because I don't show that, you know, And so that's why with like the real and raw posts and stuff that I struggle with that part. But
my Siri just like popped up on my phone and it was like listening to what you said and it was like, tell me more about ecstasy. I'm like, what, Siri?
Hey, it would probably be easier to sell ecstasy than Shakeology. Immediate results.
Megan, I have to share with you though, I was been talking to a gal and we were back and forth, and we're still back and forth. And at one point in her conversation, she goes, is this the same thing that Megan Geese does? Because she looks really great.
oh, thank you. It was funny. Someone's like, how do you get up in the morning and work out? I was like, energize, liquid crack.
That's when you
Very true.
when they say, is this what Megan Geese does? You'd be like, yes. And if you work your ass off like her, you'll look like her.
Yeah.
Really? No kids, and my husband's super boring. So those are my two. No.
That's true. You have it easy.
Yeah. I have a dog who attacks me every 5 seconds, and my husband who asks me more questions than all my fifth graders in one day. So it's awesome.
I'm kind of surprised, like, you haven't killed him yet after working with him for.
Before I got on this call, you should have heard our conversation. He yelled at me because I put my Energizer, it stains everything, and so I never put it anywhere. I always wash it out and just reuse it right away. And I put it in the sink on the left, and he like, got mad or whatever. So yeah, he was yelling at me because I get it on the washcloth or something, and so they tangled because yeah. Are you making fun of me or what?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to get Kevin to come over here and say hi, but he won't.
Of course he won't.
He won't. No, but when people always say that too, they're like, how do you get up in the morning? I just literally, I'm like, you just do it. Like, you get up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like all summer, I like slept until 9 because I didn't have to get up, and like now, I get up and stuff or whatever, and I get in a routine. I eat my granola bar and I drink my Energize, and then about 10 minutes later, I'm like jacked up. Like, I can do whatever I want. So yeah,
I miss that stuff. Let me tell you.
actually. I have it hard because Aaron still eats like dog crap, and so I always have to say no to Cheetos and pizza and all this stuff. It'd be easier if he just ate like he should.
Yeah.
Right, Harper?
I think Beachbody should come out with an intravenous way to get energized. Like hook it up when I go to sleep, and it will start pumping it into my veins at about 4:30, and then I'll be able to get up.
I agree.
I'm hoping to see that on the breaking news pretty soon.
I think it's
Have you submitted that request yet?
No, I should do that.
Oh, it's funny. I would like a new flavor of Energize.
Cookies and cream.
Like lemon's not bad, but
Oh, Energize. I was thinking Shakeology. Sorry.
oh yeah, well that too.
Oh my god, cookies and cream! I would get fat off Shakeology.
I would too.
Or pumpkin. Oh my god.
Yes, pumpkin. I need to make a pumpkin shake this weekend.
I use the pumpkin pudding mix stuff, even though it's not sugar free. I know it's really bad for me, but I'm not big into the pumpkin puree stuff because it makes it really chunky. Maybe I do it wrong.
Did the mix taste all right though?
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah. I think I have that.
I just try to add in less than normal.
That's my philosophy.
Surround yourself with people who
1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. My tablespoon's usually heaping full.
1 scoopful. Do you fill it to the line or?
I don't. I just scoop it. I don't know. I never really pay attention. I just.
That thing. Did you see I posted that in our team page or in the team thing?
Yeah. Was that the vanilla though?
Yeah. So I guess like the vanilla has like a fill line or the chocolate or something has a fill line and the other one doesn't because one has more calories or something. I don't know.
Well, I think the chocolate scoop is bigger, but I looked for a line and I didn't see one. I was like, well, that means I must fill it to the top. All right. Well, anybody else have any questions or comments or anything?
Well, I had a girl that I had been talking to for about 3 months, going back and forth, and I've actually sent her the enrollment link twice. And then she sent me a nice message this past weekend that said, oh, just wanted to let you know I signed up with my old coach. Okay. So maybe you could have asked all these questions of your old coach instead of me all summer.
Yeah. Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry.
But I sold a Country Heat today, not a challenge pack. They didn't want the Shakeology, but
yeah.
just the DVDs.
I've actually had more success with saying adding it into your meal planning and then saying that Country Heat or whatever program goes right with Shakeology. Because when I say it's a meal replacement shake, people are like, nope, I don't want it. But if I say it's a superfood that I add into my routine, then I have people signing up.
Really? And
Yeah.
I would think that by telling them it's a meal replacement, which makes it sound cheaper, less than $5
Right.
a meal.
So then I explain that I have it on the way out the door or like before I have a game or something. And I think the reason why is because there's so many meal replacement shakes out there that when you say a superfood, adding it into your day or adding it into your meals or trying to have 5 to 6 meals, it makes it sound different than other like Advocare or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've been saying. And more people are like, oh, okay, yeah. And I'm like, well, I need something when I'm like on the way out the door. And they're like, oh, I'm terrible at that in the morning. And I'm like, well, here you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just been helping.
I like that. That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed my post, my superfood, my hero.
I did see the super was capitalized.
Trying to, I don't know. My post like with Shakeology, I feel like I have to be holding it and smiling. Like, otherwise, I feel like when you you can post a picture of it and stuff, but I feel like when they see your face and you're like, and I don't know. I know they say don't just smile with your Shakeology, but.
But that was one thing that I listened to on the National Wake Up Call was, and they were talking about your social media and stuff, is like to show your face more. And, if you have a motivational quote, like share that quote with a picture of you, people want to see you and that kind of thing. So if you haven't listened to the last 2 weeks National Wake Up Calls, definitely make the time to listen to those because they were both really good. I just got around to them this morning, so they were really good.
And remember, I have found out that you can do it on the podcast, the wake up calls. And if you download them, then you can listen to them in your car or when you're driving or whenever, and they don't use up your data.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know.
Yeah, so you can either call in, like you can call and listen to 45 minutes. You can listen to it from your phone, or like I listen to it on my computer because I don't know. Well, I'm sure you can on the podcast too. You can like pause it and bring it back and stuff like that. But so yeah,
you can on the podcast too.
Okay. Because sometimes I'll be talking, I'll be like, crap, I want to write that down. So then I'll pause it and go back. So I hate listening to it on the phone though, unless I know like I'm not Because like the other day I was listening to it and it cut off at like 33 minutes. And I was like, oh, 33 minutes. But.
And I like it on the podcast because I can kind of get to the meat of the call, by just sliding the little deal forward. And then it automatically updates the next month or the next week's call too. So.
Yeah, I think they all usually start about 9 minutes in. They have their recognition and all that stuff. Oh, I just got invited to an Usborne party. It was so much fun.
I've had rodent fields like blow up everywhere.
Do you have any Scooby books? Because that's the only thing my daughter would read is Scooby. I'm not kidding.
He's got good taste.
What was she doing tonight? She was messing with something, and Kevin goes, "Want to watch Scoop?" And she dropped what she was doing, and she turned and she ran to the living room. Like, oh my gosh, we've created a monster. It's bad, but when I want to get something done, I'll just slide my earbuds in my ear and Scoop. Parent of the year right here. Oh. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. Get some work done. I go to bed in probably an hour. Even though I say I'm going to go to bed early. But, so, thanks for jumping on. It was a good night. If you missed it at the beginning, we will not have a team call next Tuesday night. But Alyssa's team call is next Tuesday night at 8. And it will be with Autumn Calabrese. So I will share that link for you next Tuesday. So that'll take the place of our call. And then we'll try and share some videos with you guys and stuff to kind of make up for it or whatever. And I will try to get this uploaded to YouTube. Last week's I could not get it uploaded. Every time I try, it says connection, something about my connection. And I even tried on like connecting to a different internet and it still wouldn't upload. So I will keep trying, but